Okay, here we go. People are going to be dissecting this document straight from the office of Andrew A. Bain. He is the state attorney out of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orlando, Florida. It's an 896-page document. And once again, thank God I got it from the YouTuber, The Docket. He just has a way with FOIAs. He has a way with people. Check the links below to, follow him on Twitter X because he posts stuff, sometimes a lot on there, as well as subscribing to his YouTube channel. He was covering another case today, but he sent me this nearly 900-page document in the Jennifer Soto and Stephan Sterns case. And boy, it reveals so much more behind the scenes about what Jennifer did, what Stephan said. I don't think it makes Jennifer look very good at all. And so it's a lot of incident reports. It's a lot of interview notes. I guess Jennifer was interviewed several times about her then missing daughter, Madeline Soto, 13 years old. And we have a lot of different viewpoints. Now, of course, I'm not going to read the entire nearly 900-page document to you. I scrolled through and researched a lot of it today, the whole thing. Oh my goodness, it took hours and hours and hours, and I was painting, so I still might have paint all over me. What a day. But I had to jump on here and read it to you guys, at least the highlights. I took a bunch of notes. They talk about Jennifer looking shady, speaking about Madeline in the past tense before they had even found Madeline's body. And I'm not going to get gruesome. There are some things in there, of course, no photos or nothing like that, nothing too gory or anything like that. A lot of it's been redacted, so I scrolled through a lot of black pages, and I don't plan on uploading this anywhere either. Not only is it just sensitive information, but it's also, even though it's redacted, I see that certain witnesses aren't redacted, or the man who owns the property where Maddie's body was found, and different people, even Sterns' dad, his phone number's in there. I saw a lot of stuff scrolling through that was just not as redacted as I would have liked, so I thought, okay, let me not post this anywhere. Let me take notes and tell you guys what I found the most interesting. I mean, they talk a lot. It makes me feel sad for Maddie. Oh, what she endured. They speak with her teachers, with her family, with friends. We get a deeper look into this horrible life that Maddie led. I mean, her friends, they sound wonderful, these little, obviously, teenagers. One of her friends even talks about Maddie's menstrual cycle. I mean, it's in here. It's a part of the documents. It's a part of the interview, and how she and Maddie were always kind of synced up. You know how women, we usually sync up when you're around another woman. If you've had roommates, generally your menstrual cycles start syncing up. And this girl is going to talk about how Maddie's cycle was late in January. I don't know. That gave me pause. Now, all of this, of course, is never to disparage any victim, and I don't understand why some people are like, don't talk about that at all. Don't talk about any possibilities. But it can lead to the truly heinous and egregious nature, whatever was going on there, of what Stephan did to Maddie. Let's get into it. There's an interview with Stephan Sterns on February 27th, 2024, and he's revealing, this is the first time I knew this, Jennifer Soto indeed sent him off to sleep with her 13-year-old daughter, Madeline Soto, the night of her birthday party that Sunday. So this is on page 29. It reads, on February 27th, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with Stephan Sterns at a location that is redacted. In fact, plenty of the names in this document are redacted and the locations, so I'm going to assume what logically makes sense in the context of what I've read. I think people will be studying this document for years to come, just like we did with that 1963-page or whatever discovery document from the Chris Watts case. It says that Stephan currently resides in Northport, Florida, but he comes to Kissimmee, Florida occasionally to spend time with Jennifer and Maddie. On February 25th, now this is Sunday, at approximately 20:45 hours, so that's around 8:45 p.m., Stephan arrived at Jennifer and Maddie's residence located at Santa Maria Drive. When he arrived, Jennifer was still at work, and he directed Maddie to get ready for bed. We're going to learn about him saying, oh, that means She took her medication. She took a shower. Once Jennifer arrived, she informed Stephan and Maddie she would like to sleep in and directed them to sleep upstairs in the guest room. What we're going to learn about Maddie's volatile relationship with her mother has me looking at Jennifer even worse. I'm asking myself, did she hate Maddie? Was she jealous of Maddie? There were all these problems between this mother and daughter beyond just maybe, things might get a little rocky when you have a teenage daughter and they're going through those teenage years. This seemed like something different and deeper and just made me feel so bad for Maddie. So now the following morning, Stephan and Maddie woke up at approximately 7 to 7:15 a.m. to get an early start so they could purchase food from McDonald's before school. Next, the document goes into that whole spiel from Sterns about Maddie changing her mind about McDonald's and getting dropped off near school and all that stuff. We know it's a complete lie. But this is the first time I've heard Sterns tell cops that Jennifer sent him and Maddie off to sleep in the guest bedroom the night of or before her murder. And we're going to learn and hear about Stephan definitely moving Maddie's body out of the front passenger seat into the trunk of a vehicle. We're going to learn about him staying at a hotel. It might have been Tuesday night. Sterns stayed at that hotel because the cops said, you guys, look, we're taking your apartment, your condo, we're searching that, forensics. We saw all that stuff. So cops were like, look, you guys got to find somewhere else to go for the night. They'll even talk about how Maddie's grandma, Yolanda, who is Jennifer's mom, does not like Sterns. Now we're going to hear about this detective making a special note of the fact that Jennifer was speaking about Maddie in the past tense. But what is this new job at Disney that was so important to Jen that it was just so exhausting for her that she felt it was okay to tell Maddie and Stephan, oh, go sleep on another floor, even not even just in another bedroom, but on another floor as well. It just blows my mind. The features that she is going to recognize on Stephan when detectives show her more photos of his hands and his junk and everything, which elaborates on what we read before. It's not like Jennifer said she didn't notice anything or she didn't see anything or nothing looked like Stephan in those photos. In fact, his face is in one of them. Oh my goodness. I have a lot of evidence. This guy is going down, let me tell you. Let's now look at page 31 of the incident report. At this time, Detective Acosta and I responded to the front entrance of the complex and made contact with security in reference to video surveillance. Detective Acosta and I reviewed the surveillance showing both the front and the rear entrance of the complex, which exited onto Dyer Boulevard. In the surveillance footage, I observed a male wearing a red shirt leaving the complex in a 2010 silver MKZ through the rear gate at 7:50 a.m. with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. This person appeared to be sitting upright with her head slumped over to her left side. At 8:19 a.m., I observed a male wearing a red shirt enter the complex through the front gate near North Hoagland Boulevard. In the silver Lincoln with someone in the front passenger seat wearing a green sweater and once again slumped over. So she's still slumped over from 7:50 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. And then at 8:31 a.m., the male wearing the red shirt left the complex in the silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate with a female in the front passenger seat, completely slumped over to the left. And it gets even more descriptive in some parts where they talk about how Maddie's mouth is agape, is open and totally slumped over. And they even describe what it was like finding her body and what she was wearing. And I didn't include this part in my notes, just where on the property she was found near these like hay barrels. And it doesn't sound like she was like buried. It sounds like he kind of haphazardly put her in between this location and tried to cover her up. But unfortunately, there were flies and everything else that at least detectives were led to Maddie because of all this great detective work. Now let's go over this one crazy interview with Jennifer Soto from page 32. On February 27th, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with who I am assuming is Jennifer due to the nature of the things discussed. It continues, I introduced myself to Jennifer and informed her I was going to be the lead detective on this investigation. I informed Jennifer that Detective Hunt had provided me with a synopsis of what had occurred the day Maddie went missing. I informed Jennifer I had been advised she had a new job and that she had asked Maddie and Stephan to sleep upstairs because she needed to get rest, which she stated that was correct. According to Jennifer, Maddie had her birthday party on February 25th, 2024, beginning at 1500 hours, which is 3 p.m., and ending at an unknown time. Jennifer had not attended due to being at work. We will also finally learn, according to one of Maddie's friends, Stephan was not at Maddie's birthday party either, so neither one of them were there. Now, Jennifer advised that her sister had dropped off Maddie at her house at approximately 20:30 hours, which is around 8:30 p.m., and she believed Stephan had arrived shortly after that time. Like, why did he show up right when it was time for Maddie to come home? Like, did Jennifer call him and say, okay, I'm going to be working late, come on over there and stay with Maddie? Stephan informed Jennifer that Maddie had taken her nighttime medication and was getting ready for bed, which consisted of taking a shower. Jennifer arrived at the house from working approximately at 22:30 hours, which is around 10:30 p.m. So it wasn't that much later. I mean, why did she even need Sterns there? And that's when Jennifer sent Maddie and Stephan to bed at approximately 2300 hours, which is 11 p.m. I asked Jennifer where Maddie and Stephan slept, and she stated upstairs in bedroom number 4. But I don't know which one is bedroom number 4. I asked Jennifer if it was normal for Stephan and Maddie to sleep in the same room, to which she stated sometimes she would send them upstairs when she needed a really good night's sleep, which is so weird to me. It's weird and selfish, and as we get into the relationship between Jen and Maddie, and Jennifer also advised sometimes they would all sleep together in the king-size bed, and other times Stephan would sleep upstairs, meaning Maddie and she would sleep alone. Like, why is he even there? Jennifer's sending Stephan off to sleep with Maddie, but then she's also just Jennifer and Maddie sometimes sleep alone, and Stephan's in another room. Anyway, we'll also go over the mystery about why they broke up. Maddie wouldn't say why, wouldn't tell her friend why Stephan and Jennifer broke up. Her friends are going to talk about how close Stephan and Maddie were in terms of always, communicating, and the cops found a lot of communication between the two of them on her phone. All of Stephan's grooming this little girl. But then Maddie's going to criticize Stephan. She's going to speak badly about him to her counselor without admitting what she was really suffering. But sometimes Maddie and Jennifer would sleep alone, and Jennifer advised it usually depended on everyone's schedule the following day. I asked Jennifer what time she had woken up on February 26, 2024, to which she stated she believed sometime between 8 a.m. and 8:15 because Stephan had gone into the room to put the leash on the dog. Now, this story is one that changes. Jennifer heard people in the kitchen, and as far as she knew, Maddie had gone downstairs to get ready for school. Jennifer then stated that either Maddie or Stephan, I'm not sure which one because it's blacked out, so maybe they're talking about Maddie, maybe they're talking about Stephan here. One of them had a makeshift room in the living room that had a television. Maybe that's where Stephan did his toys and painting and stuff. It had a television, a desk, a dresser, and a bed. Maddie or Stephan only used this room to hang out and would never sleep there. I asked Jennifer if she visually observed Maddie on the morning of February 26, 2024, to which she stated no. So where did all that talk come from? It flies in the face of that other report that claims Jennifer said she saw Maddie around 8 a.m. that morning. Other reports, Jennifer is going to say, oh no, the last time I saw her was Sunday night. And so then why did Jennifer correct Stephan, claiming Stephan was like, oh, Maddie had on maybe black pants or something, and Jennifer jumped in and said that night when we watched the body cam video, oh no, maybe it was black shorts. She corrected as if she had seen Maddie that morning and what she was wearing to school. Turns out from, this report, Maddie was wearing jeans when she was found. And they found one of her Crocs somewhere else, and then she had on the green sweater. Okay, back to the report. I asked if she had heard her, and she stated she heard people in the kitchen, but was not sure if it was her specifically. Jennifer then stated the last time she had physically seen Maddie was on February 25th, 2024 at 2300 hours when she had sent her to bed. So what's that, 11 p.m.? So Jennifer's story is just falling apart. If she last saw Maddie at 11 p.m., go off to bed in another bedroom with my boyfriend. that we're on again, off again. Anyway, Jennifer's gonna claim she used to be so vigilant with Stephan, but over time, over the years, she learned to trust him. And is it really that much naivete in the world? Yes, maybe, but oh my goodness. But this flies in the face of her knowing or seeing Maddie at all on Monday, and this cops will point it out. On February 26, 2024, Jennifer got out of bed at approximately 9 a.m. So she's claiming she didn't get out of bed that Monday that Maddie went missing until 9 a.m. and didn't see her at all. She only heard Stephan, I guess. Maybe she saw him like getting a leash for one of the dogs. So Jennifer left the residence around 9:30 because she had a doctor's appointment scheduled for 10:15 a.m. So that's that blood appointment, I guess, Stephan was talking about. Jennifer returned home approximately between 11 and 11:15 a.m. and believed Stephan was at home at this time. I asked Jennifer what she and Stephan did when they reunited at the residence. Jennifer stated they had chatted for a little bit, and she asked, quote, "What happened?" I asked what she meant, and she stated Stephan had called her around 10:18 a.m. to let her know he and Maddie had not gone to McDonald's as planned. This McDonald's plan really plays into this whole narrative because Stephan is going to talk about, or someone, Jennifer's going to talk about, oh, Stephan was going to take her for a special McDonald's breakfast. According to Jennifer, Maddie and Stephan had planned to leave early and have a special, there it is, and have a special breakfast at McDonald's. And he would then drop her off at school early because she wanted to arrive early. Lies, all of it. Like, okay, who sends their 13-year-old off with her boyfriend who he's not really like a solid guy, he hasn't put a ring on it, he's not her husband, sends her daughter off with this guy to another bedroom, and then the next day they're supposed to have a special McDonald's breakfast together? It's just so weird. Stephan told Jennifer that on the way to school, Maddie was very sleepy and she wanted to sleep, not get McDonald's, and just wanted to get dropped off. He also wanted to let her know that he left his phone at home by accident and had gone to the vape shop, but they had not opened on time. The cops are really going to dig into this vape shop and Stephan's timing and his whole timeline being off and all these lost hours. They even dig into his dad and his dad's movements on this time. Like, that's a lot of pages. These cops did their jobs. But as far as Jennifer and Stephan, their timelines are going to be a little bit wacky, especially Stephan's. Stephan waited for a while in front of the vape shop, and after they did not open, he went back home. After hanging out with Jennifer for a while, Stephan left again to go to the vape shop to get what he needed. Jennifer then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop, because she believed it might be helpful if I wanted to look at surveillance. Another ding 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 red flag. There's going to be another point in here where Jennifer tells the cops that Stephan took her vehicle in the middle of the night. That was a weird red flag. This is another red flag to me. I can't wait to see this video or hear this audio interview, because Jennifer is asking the cop, oh yeah, you want the name of that vape shop? Because, you know, it's like she's saying, Stephan was definitely there. You can pull the surveillance on that. You'll see him. Almost as if they truly planned, and when Stephan gets into it with the cops about what time he was at the vape shop or what time he was not there, it makes it sound like he just intentionally went there and just sat there so he could be seen on video. But the cops weren't buying it, of course. So after Jennifer's trying to help the cops out by, you know, do you want the name of this vape shop so you can see my boyfriend on video? Anyway, I then told Jennifer I was advised at some point Stephan had gotten a flat tire and he was not able to go to school with her. I asked Jennifer to advise me how she became aware Maddie was not at the school. Jennifer stated she normally left her residence at approximately 14:30 hours, which is 2:30 p.m., and waited about an hour for her to get out before the bell rang. I wonder why she normally, if that's true at all, why she normally waits an hour for Maddie. I don't know, that would be a little weird, but to each his own. Jennifer waited the entire time, and when the bell rang, she noticed Maddie was not one of the first to come out like she normally was. Jennifer then realized she was holding up the parent line, and at approximately 16:10 hours, which is 4:10 p.m., Jennifer drove away. So she's saying she left her residence. I don't know how long it takes to get from the condo to the school, but she left her residence at about 2:30, waited a whole hour for Maddie to get out. Okay, she's not coming out. At 4:10 p.m., oh, I'm holding up the parent line. and that's why Jennifer drove away. Now this part is another red flag for me, because Jennifer says Jennifer was not sure if Maddie knew she was going to pick her up. Therefore, she drove to her mom, Yolanda Zambrano's, that insurance company workplace, and checked on the way to see if she observed if Maddie was walking. When she arrived at Yolanda's job, she asked her if Maddie was there, to which she was advised it was still too early. Jennifer then parked on Hunters Park Lane to see if she would see Maddie walking. In this point, she's claiming, okay, Maddie's phone is at home, so she can't text her. I'm going to go over why did Jennifer just leave the school? Maddie didn't come out. It's going to be weird when she starts talking about, I emailed her teachers and all this stuff. And then by the time I went back to the school, it was closed. It's like it was all by design. Any normal worried mother or parent, if you're waiting, you leave your house at 2:30, you're waiting an hour, your kid doesn't come out by 4:10 p.m., your normal instinct wouldn't necessarily be to drive to, okay, let me go to my mom's office because Maddie might have walked there. To me, the normal instinct would be, let me park wherever, even if I gotta park in the teacher's lot or wherever. I'm running in this school really quick. Let me see, is anyone here? Have you guys seen Maddie today? Instead of just sitting there emailing the teachers, who knows when they'll read an email. I just feel like Jennifer has so much guilty knowledge, and these pages are proving it to me. I don't know why she hasn't been charged with anything yet, but maybe she will be. Normally you think she could be calling her mom's office. Mom, I'm in the school. Did Maddie walk there? Has she shown up yet? Okay, no. She'd be in the school kind of looking around for her, or asking her school teachers instead of emailing them. That's so strange to me. But she's claiming, I was holding up the parent line, so she had to leave. No, you just pull over. You go find a spot. You go in the teacher's lot if you have to. You do what you have to do to go in there, and while you're still at the school, maybe I'll run into one of Maddie's friends. Maybe I'll ask people. Maybe I can ask the front office. They can page her. There's so many other things you could do. But Jennifer was parking on Hunters Park Lane to see if she would see Maddie walking. At approximately 16:30 hours, which is 4:30 p.m., Jennifer knew Maddie should have reached her mother's office by then. So now it's 4:30. Jennifer went back to Yolanda's office and asked if she was there, and told not yet. Jennifer then contacted Maddie's friend and asked if she was with Maddie. She informed Jennifer that Maddie had not gone to school and that she was not in the first or second period. This is a weird part too with Jennifer. She then asked someone, and it's redacted, it's probably Maddie's friend, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. It's that same line. So she's telling Maddie's friend, after Maddie's friend informs her, Maddie wasn't in first or second period today. Jen pops off with that line. What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. It sounds very rehearsed. First of all, again, Jennifer's popping off with the we. What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. I've heard that 1,000 times. She should have walked to school. It was like she's laying the foundation of, whoa, where did Maddie go? We dropped her off close to school. And one of these friends is going to talk about Jennifer was not freaking out, despite all these claims that she was freaking out when she realized Maddie wasn't at school. She wasn't. So this is getting shadier by the page. It seems like Jennifer's bolstering Sterns' story about going to the vape shop. And it's the same old thing. We dropped her off close to school. She walked to school, or what we thought walked to school. Anyway, a friend informed Jennifer that Maddie was not in any of their periods. Jennifer then began to panic because she believed something was wrong. So Jennifer is telling the cop, that's when I started to panic, I guess. But some of Maddie's friends, at least one of them is like, no, she wasn't freaked out at all. Jennifer emailed a few of her teachers. Now this is strange to me. Jennifer emailed a few of her teachers, and one replied saying Maddie had not made it to his class and had not made it to school at all. Jennifer began to freak out and contacted 911. So is that what Jennifer's claiming to the cop? Because Jennifer never called 911 herself. Another red flag. And that emailing of the teachers, if you go try and pick up your 13-year-old daughter from middle school, you're waiting, and you're like, I don't know if she knew I was picking her up. I mean, immediately your response would be like, let me call my mom, let me text my mom, let me see if she's on the way there. But I think she should have gone in that school. If she truly did not know what had happened to Maddie that day, you would think Jennifer would have pulled over, gone right in that school, try and find whatever teacher's still there. Like, did Maddie come to class today? Or go to the front office and get them to announce it or something. like, okay, there you are, instead of, oh, let me just email her teachers. That's something she mentioned on the body cam. And as a parent, let me tell you, I've raised middle schoolers. No, a 13-year-old middle schooler, if they're not coming out when I'm expecting them, I'm not just going to go email the teachers. No, this is more of an emergency. I'm going in that school. I'm, checking, and it's just weird. The report says, I asked Jennifer if it was common for Maddie to not have her phone, to which she stated it was common for her to forget it because she has ADHD and is extremely forgetful and loses track of time. I asked Jennifer to explain to me where she looked for Maddie. Jennifer states after speaking with the friend, she went to the school to confirm her attendance. However, it was already closed. So by now, at some point, I don't know what time this is, but the school is already closed. So Jennifer backtracked and drove back to Yolanda's office. After Stephan heard Maddie did not show up, he went to Yolanda's office. So that's why they were all meeting at Yolanda's office and not at the condo. I think that was by design also. Now, granted, Maddie sometimes did walk to her grandma's office, but I think it was a convenient meeting space to try and take the heat off of whatever may have happened in the condo. I don't know. They all waited for law enforcement to arrive at Yolanda's office, and they did not return home until they were done speaking with the police. I asked Jennifer where Maddie's phone was at the time she had gone to pick up Maddie, to which she stated she had taken it with her when she went to pick her up from school. So Jennifer advised when Maddie forgot her phone, she would bring it to her when she would pick her up. Jennifer tried to look through Maddie's phone while waiting for the police. However, she was in a panic and handed the phone to her sister and niece. They both went through Maddie's phone, and they did not see anything weird on her phone. So I'm trying not to be too hard on Jennifer here. Now, during those 911 calls, you could hear, I think, Jennifer in the background when they were trying to find out what was she wearing today. And Jennifer did sound like she was upset or putting on some type of upset voice or act or something. At this point, she's saying she's too upset, to look through Maddie's phone, and she handed the phone to her sister and niece, and they went through it and didn't see anything weird. Now, Jennifer, on the body cam footage, she tells the cop, oh, I went through her phone. We didn't see anything weird on her phone. Jennifer was making it sound like she went through Maddie's phone herself. It turns out she was saying, it's too upset. I'm too upset. Here, you go through it. I don't know what the point of that was, as if she needed an independent witness. Here. Maybe she wanted them to find something on Maddie's phone and say, oh, Jen, look what we found. There's a method to her madness here. I asked Jennifer where they looked for Maddie, which she stated was in the Hunters Creek area, and they returned home at approximately 2,000 to 2,100 hours, which is around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So in a different part, when Stephan talked to the cops, he's claiming they didn't really drive around anywhere to look for Maddie. So it's like the cops are talking about these inconsistencies. I asked Jennifer if they went back out after that, to which she advised Stephan had gone back out in the middle of the night with her vehicle. That sounds very shady. Stephan went out in the middle of the night? The middle of which night? Is this Monday night? Monday night into Tuesday? After that body cam video where they all gathered at the office and where they, went after midnight, got some kind of clothing from the condo so the bloodhound had something to sniff. So after that night, Stephan went out in the middle of the night with Jennifer's vehicle? Weird. Where did he go? Did he move Maddie's body that night in hopes it wouldn't be discovered? I explained to Jennifer that her residence was going to be secured and everyone was going to have to stay somewhere else for the night. I also explained Stephan's car would be towed to the sheriff's office for processing because Maddie was last seen in Stephan's car. I provided Jennifer with my cell phone. I asked her to let me know where she and Stephan were going to stay and explained to her she could call me at any time if she needed to speak with me. Okay, now let's move on to the second interview of Stephan Sterns. On February 28th, Detective Acosta and I conducted a second digitally recorded sworn interview with Stephan Sterns. I asked if I had his consent to download his phone or if I needed a search warrant to collect the contents. Stephan said it was fine and provided me with his phone PIN. I advised Stephan that while digital forensics was looking through Maddie's phone, they noticed there was a lot of communication between Maddie and him. I asked Stephan to explain to me the relationship between him and Maddie. Stephan stated he was like a stepfather to Maddie and she thinks of him as a dad. I asked Stephan what he and Maddie spoke about when they would FaceTime, and he stated he would speak to both Maddie and Jennifer. When I asked Stephan if he recalled what time he had factory reset his phone, he stated he was not sure because he was not a morning person but believed it was before he went to the smoke shop. Stephan then stated the update had a weird option about reinstalling everything and he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. I asked if he could explain to me how he did the update and he said it was like some kind of push notification that appeared at the top and he had ignored it for a long time. Stephan stated this took him to a page with a system and he clicked something and wasn't sure what happened because he wasn't paying attention. After starting the update, the phone reset. Whoops! I asked Stephan to explain to me what he did when he returned to get his key fob. So this must have been some point. Getting the clicker, as he called it, maybe this is the point where he claimed he got the clicker, but they're calling it a key fob. This might be a different point. Stephan stated he parked, ran inside to grab the key fob, got back in his vehicle and left the complex for his, quote, morning mission. So I don't know what they're talking about here. I don't know if this is a different instance than the clicker because obviously he couldn't have driven anywhere without his key fob if it's that type of vehicle where you have to have your fob. Well, he drives older vehicles, so maybe not. I don't know. I know there's lies about a key fob, about a clicker, the gate clicker, who knows. Stephan stated after he dropped Maddie off at 8:40 a.m., he drove directly to the smoke shop and waited approximately 5 or 10 minutes for them to open. I asked Stephan if he went anywhere else after the smoke shop, and he stated he was probably driving towards the direction of home and did not recall stopping anywhere. I advised Stephan his vehicle was seen heading south again at 11 a.m. and asked what he had done between 8:40 a.m. and 10 a.m. Stephan stated he had been, quote, cruising around a little bit. I told Stephan he had originally stated he had been at the smoke shop for about 5 minutes and headed home. Stephan stated he may have been lingering in the area but had made his way home. I advised Stephan I needed help explaining why there was an hour and 20-minute gap, which he stated he was not sure what to say since it had been a normal day. So there goes Sterns again with that normal. How normal that Monday was, just like any other day, he always claims. Back to the report. Stephan again stated the smoke shop was supposed to open soon and he made his way there and was not in any rush. Stephan again stated he was not able to explain the time delay since he had not gone anywhere in particular. I asked Stephan where he went after the smoke shop and he said home. I asked Stephan if the smoke shop was 10 minutes from his residence, to which he stated it was 15 to 20 minutes. I reminded Stephan he had originally stated it was a 10-minute drive and he advised time was not a strong suit of his. Detective Acosta asked Stephan what time the smoke shop opened, which he stated 10 a.m. Detective Acosta then informed Stephan if it opened at 10 a.m. and he dropped Maddie off at 8:40 a.m., he would be gone an hour before they were scheduled to open. Stephan said he did not think it would be open but hoped he would get there early enough for them to open. Stephan then stated he arrived about 15 to 20 minutes before they had opened. Stay tuned, we're going to talk about his injuries and I'm going to see if I can find them in the video. Stephan then said he waited a few minutes after 10 a.m. for them to open, but he realized they were not opening and he left. Detective Acosta stated he had not waited past 10 a.m. since his vehicle was heading southbound on John Young Parkway at 10 a.m. Stephan stated his vehicle was still in front of the smoke shop at 10 a.m. waiting for them to turn on the open sign, and I advised Stephan his time frame was not making sense. These will be great interviews to watch because these cops are like, look, whew. And stay tuned because later we're going to get into not graphic, but a little troubling detail about the CSAM found on Sterns' phone. According to Stephan, he was trying to help us the best he could. I reminded Stephan what he had stated and asked how he was there at 10 a.m. when it was approximately a 10-minute drive from where he had dropped Maddie off. Stephan stated he had taken no particular route to the smoke shop, but he made his way there. I asked Stephan if he had issues with his memory, and he stated he was diagnosed with ADHD. He did not have his phone on him and was not sure of the time. I asked if he had a clock in the car, and he stated he believed he did, but it was not his car. Stephan then stated he was 90% sure he was in the smoke shop parking lot at around 10 a.m. I asked Stephan when he returned to get his key fob, had Maddie gone inside with him? Stephan stated she had not because she was asleep. I asked Stephan again about the location where he got his flat tire. Stephan stated everything looked the same and he was drawing a blank about any specific businesses and only recalled pulling into a plaza. Stephan stated he was driving towards John Young Parkway and US 192 when it occurred. Stephan recalled going to a Target on US 192 near Walmart and was going to go to House of Cards but got a flat tire somewhere before he got to Oak Street. Stephan was not sure how long it took to change his tire, but believed he returned home at approximately 14:35 hours, which is about 2:35 p.m. So isn't that convenient? He gets home at 2:35 p.m. Oops, just missed Jennifer by 5 minutes. I can't go with you to go pick up Maddie. And oops, Jennifer just so happens to leave a whole hour early. You know, I gotta leave at 2:30, just missed Stephan, so I can get to Maddie and wait for her an hour and know she's not gonna be there. These two, I feel like they, colluded. Stephan again apologized and stated his brain did not work properly because he had ADHD. While speaking with Stephan, I noticed he was wearing a blue shirt. In the videos from earlier in the day, Stephan was observed wearing a red shirt. Stephan stated he had not changed clothes since the previous morning and did not believe he had showered either. Ugh. I asked Stephan if I could take a picture of his hands, to which he advised me it was fine. In the pictures, I noticed Stephan had a significant scar, approximately 2 to 3 inches long, on the top part of his right wrist. So there's a scar somewhere in here, and I was trying to look. I'll see if we can examine the body cam video again to see if we see this scar. Stephan also had minor scratches to the top part of his left hand. I informed Stephan his phone was going to be downloaded overnight and he would probably not get it back until the following morning, and he stated that was fine. I don't know. I bet you Maddie put up a fight, whatever the heck happened. I mean, I've heard some troubling things about her potential injuries, and I guess I shouldn't mention them, but I think people in Florida are talking and they're learning more about what happened with this case. I think that little girl put up a fight. The document next goes into troubling detail on page 35 about the CSAM of Maddie found on Sterns' phone. So many photos and, photos of her with no clothes on and all this stuff. And he was like having her pose and whatever. Both Sterns and Jennifer were given separate rides to a press conference that was scheduled. However, the report states that prior to finishing the interview with Jennifer, I was advised the Violent Crimes Squad had located a video of Stephan discarding something in the trash compactor located in his apartment complex on February 26th at 7:35 a.m. In this video, they observed a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat of the vehicle. The female appeared to be completely slumped over with her mouth ajar. Investigators went on to match a tire tread to Stephan's vehicle nearby a white trash bag that contained a black backpack with the purple Hawaiian print and a white crock. Inside the backpack, CSI located an Orange County public school computer with Maddie's name on it. After Stephan's interview, the Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics Unit responded to Interview Room 1 in reference to a DNA search warrant for Stephan. CSI took several pictures of Stephan's body and penis and collected all his clothing. Detective Junko and I located a black mark on Stephan's penis, which was consistent with the photos on his cell phone. So it's some kind of like a mark or a mole or whatever, and that's different from the coloring another detective describes, but it's obviously pretty distinctive, and it's important because it pegs him as the criminal in these photos with this young girl. Pictures of Stephan's scar on his right wrist were also taken. Stephan was taken into custody for the arrest warrant authored by detectives with the Kissimmee Police Department, and we watched that little perp walk and everything. The report goes on to say how Sterns' black freckle mark, as well as his face, was visible in some of these heinous photos. They've got him dead to rights. Thank God he was not very smart. I hate that this little girl had to suffer some of these things that I won't even read. It gets too graphic. But thank God he was not smart. He was stupid enough to put his face in some of these photos or videos or whatever, parts of Maddie's body, and so they can identify what he was doing. They also collected a Solo lotion for it's a self-pleasuring cream from a black backpack in the condo. So I'm leaving out the disturbing details found in this PDF. Yeah, it's just kind of graphic, and it just, the witness information, I don't feel comfortable, publishing any of that anywhere. Additional reports say that Maddie was belted into her seatbelt with her head tilted and mouth open when Sterns was driving her around. Now, just like people assumed when that great reporter Shannon Butler, she stated that Sterns moved Maddie's body, indeed it was to the trunk of his car. According to page 87 of this report, Orange County Sheriff's Office Violent Crimes Detective Leonard Jones observed surveillance footage that revealed at 9:40 a.m. Sterns' vehicle turned onto the Holiday Inn Club Vacations located at 9271 South John Young Parkway in Orlando. He turned there from Emissary Avenue, then proceeded into their parking garage. At approximately 9:41 a.m., the vehicle arrived on the top level of the parking garage, then backed into a parking space. At approximately 9:42 a.m., a fair-skinned male wearing what appeared to be a dark hat, reddish shirt, and tan pants exited the vehicle from the driver's seat and then walked to the back of the vehicle and opened the trunk. The male then walked to the front passenger side of the vehicle, opened the door, then proceeded to carry what appeared to be a limp female body to the trunk of the vehicle. At approximately 9:44 a.m., the same male subject entered the driver's seat of the same vehicle and drove away. So at some point, I guess Sterns was thinking, oh, I can't be here with Maddie all slumped over and her mouth ajar, driving around with her. I better move her to the trunk. This report even speaks of finding evidence of Sterns recording his roommate in secret. Now let's get back to another interview with Jennifer. On Wednesday, February 28th, now this is when Sterns will be arrested that day, but he doesn't get arrested, I guess, until that night. Detective Andrew Calise with the Orange County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit assisted in investigating a missing person juvenile and interviewed with Jennifer. After answering a few questions, Detective Calise stopped the interview and waited for detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department. But during the interview, Jennifer confirmed that someone, it's redacted, lives with her, and that her boyfriend of approximately 7 years was Stephan Sterns. As the interview continued, Jennifer stated that on rare occasions, Maddie and Stephan slept in the same bed. According to Jennifer, the reason for this is so she can get some sleep, because sometimes all three of them sleep in the same bed. Jennifer also confirmed with Detective Calise that she and Stephan had been sexually intimate. Detective Calise presented Jennifer with various images that were recovered from Stephan's cell phone. The first image was a hand placed on the buttocks of a white female. After viewing the image, Jennifer identified this hand belonging to Stephan. So yeah, even though it was written quirky in that other incident report we read, and there's a ton of them in here, I didn't take it as Jennifer just didn't recognize anything. I don't know whose hand that is. I don't know whose junk that is. I know some of it she acted like she was in denial, but some of it she didn't, so now we get more details. Next, Detective Calise showed Jennifer a close-up photograph of a white male penis. Jennifer viewed the picture but was unable to identify the penis. Detective Calise then presented Jennifer with another image of a penis pulled over a pair of pants. Again, Jennifer viewed this image and identified the penis as belonging to Stephan. Jennifer believed this was Stephan's junk based on the clothing and blanket near the junk. So that's where the interview paused as they waited for Kissimmee officers to arrive. In the meantime, there was an interview conducted on February 29th with a woman who called the Orange County Sheriff's Office named Marilee since she knew Sterns. She came to know him through working with him at Disney. She explained their relationship became intimate around December of 2022 and ended in May of 2023. During this time, she said Sterns told her he was separated from his girlfriend. She said Sterns told her that although he was separated from his girlfriend, he still slept at Jennifer's residence and specifically in the bed with Maddie. She said Sterns justified this behavior by saying he needed to cuddle with her so she could fall asleep. As if Maddie needed him. I mean, come on. She further recalled a conversation she had with Sterns where he told her that he woke up in the bed with Maddie with an erection and had to turn around in the bed. She felt the comments Sterns made to her about sleeping with Maddie were inappropriate and she stopped talking to him shortly after they were made. Now, they also interviewed a lot of Maddie's friends. Of course, none of them named. They'll just say like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old or whomever. But in an interview with one of Maddie's friends on February 27th, 2024, the day after Maddie went missing, an interview with one of Maddie's friends on February 27th, 2024 at 1:05 p.m., the friend told police that Maddie told her she didn't get along with her mom. She had heard from another friend that Maddie's mom told her she was going to kick her out of the house and disown her when she turned 18 or 19. This friend talked to Maddie every morning except the morning of Monday, February 26th. When she called Maddie that morning, there was no answer. And that's not the first person who's going to talk about Maddie's volatile relationship with Jennifer. Again, it could be just normal teenage stuff, and I know some parents might jokingly say to their kids, when you turn 18, you better get out of this house, and some of them mean it, and I hate that, but I hate, there's so much discord between Maddie and Jen. The friend further stated that Maddie only mentioned her biological father briefly, but she was always on a call with her stepdad, Stephan. Stephan and Maddie were always texting each other or talking on the phone. Maddie loved him and they were really close, explained the friend. Which is sad to me because when a child has been groomed and gaslit and everything, Maddie had to be so confused. She's known this man since she was 8 years old, and he's taken advantage of her so often in such horrible, despicable ways. Of course, Maddie might have confused that with love. The way Stephan is like, yeah, when she gets into it with her mom, I'm the one she comes to. I'm the one she needs. And he totally took advantage of that. Her naivete, her vulnerability. That's why it's such a horrible crime. And just used her. She had to be so confused. And Maddie was tired all the time. Her grades were suffering. There was so much turmoil. Stephan is Maddie's mom's boyfriend and he has been in her life for a long period of time. Stephan recently moved out of the home, but he still visits often. Maddie never disclosed anything inappropriate that Stephan said or did, and that's a recurring theme even with counselors, with friends, with others. They will say, yeah, I saw, it was weird. Stephan might have been saying something weird or whatever, or I didn't like him or whatever. But they do say, yeah, Maddie never told them, okay, he's doing this specific thing to me, which of course is no fault of Maddie's because many victims do not say anything because they have been threatened or they even feel embarrassed. They might incorrectly feel like it's their fault. God knows how Maddie was feeling. Normally, Maddie's mom or grandparents bring her to school. The last time she talked to Maddie, this was a friend, was on Sunday, February 25th at Maddie's birthday party. The party took place at Maddie's grandparents' home. Neither Maddie's mom nor her mom's boyfriend were in attendance at the birthday party, so there, we finally have the answer to that question. And different friends talk about how Maddie was upset that she didn't get more gifts, or she usually gets, more money for her birthday. A lot of friends, I guess, didn't show up. It was just sad. The same friend said Jennifer called her during the evening of February 26, 2024, and asked her if she was with Maddie because she was missing. Jennifer told this friend she last saw Maddie at 8:45 a.m. when she dropped Maddie off at the church near the school. She said she dropped her off at the church because Maddie wanted to walk to school, which is unusual. So the friends are saying, oh, Jennifer told me that she dropped Maddie off at 8:45 a.m. at the church. So Jennifer was telling a lot of people the same old thing she did with the news. We dropped her off, but then admitted, oh, it was really Stephan. Maddie's counselor was even interviewed, and Maddie expressed to her how she had stress at home, including fighting with her mom. Mom would get upset because Maddie is forgetful or doesn't clean up like she is expected to. She disclosed when Mom yells at her, it makes her feel overstimulated, and then she can't respond the way she wants to. Maddie reported that her mom's boyfriend was living in the home and she didn't like him because he was, quote, weird. So Maddie did open up to this counselor a little bit. When she pressed Maddie about why she felt he was weird, she claimed it was because he ate all their food, hangs out in their living room, and makes her feel uncomfortable. Maddie reported in December that Mom's boyfriend was moving out of the home and that made her happy. So she was happy that Stephan was moving out. Okay, so it made Maddie happy when Stephan was moving out. So even though she didn't tell the counselor everything that was going on, Maddie did express a little bit of her angst and just her repulsion, how much she was repulsed by Sterns. You know, she just mentioned the safe topics like, oh, he's always hanging out, he's always eating all our food, he makes me uncomfortable. But Maddie never disclosed anything inappropriate happening between her and her mother's boyfriend. And it's sad, I wish Maddie could have reached out, and you never know if Stephan threatened her or, you know, emotionally, of course, physically, all of this harm he brought to her, but we never know what he did to keep her silent. And he could have said, oh, I'll hurt someone you love, or you never know. There are a series of interviews with 12 and 13-year-olds who described Maddie as having stopped taking her medication on February 14th, 2024, and that she would have her good and bad days. Some of them mentioned Maddie wanted to build a house in the woods when she turned 13. But one of the friends cleared it up. It was only if World War III broke out. Some of them talk about Maddie's crush, I guess some kid who reportedly didn't like her back. Some speak about her bad relationship with her mother. Another friend spoke about Stephan recently moving out of Maddie's house for an unknown reason, and when asked why he moved out, Maddie, quote, ignored the question. There's even a conversation about Maddie's menstrual cycle, like I talked about, being a week or two late in January 2024, but this friend didn't think anything of it because she, quote, believed Maddie was a virgin, end quote. Now, all these things can become really integral, even if some people might think it's distasteful. None of it is Maddie's fault. Like mentioning her late menstrual cycle or the things, you know, her friends experienced, all of that. It's so good they spoke out about what Maddie told them. None of this is to make Maddie in any way look bad or disparage her or disrespect her as a victim. She is obviously a victim of this heinous man. These are just facts that the jury can deal with when they're determining, you know, the appropriate punishment now that this is a death penalty case. You know, how heinous is heinous, and this will really all come into play. But the same friend did say that Jennifer was never freaking out, and she thought it was weird that she said she dropped Maddie off to school when Stephan said he did. There are hundreds and hundreds of pages of cops figuring out where Stephan's dad was during critical hours. Now, I didn't see anything about Stephan's dad helping him or anything, but the cops did their job. Pages and pages and pages of Stephan's dad and where he was that Monday morning, these hours, that hours. It's a lot of maps. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Now, finally, let's get to this interview starting on page 872, wherein Jennifer stated the last time she saw Maddie was on the night of Sunday, February 25th at approximately 2300 hours or 11 p.m. inside the home when she was going to bed. At this time, Jennifer sent Maddie and Stephan up to the guest bedroom. All three were originally going to sleep in one bed. However, Jennifer stated she needed to get some rest due to her new job, making her very tired. She would sleep better alone, and Stephan was going to get Maddie ready for school in the morning anyway. Stephan no longer lives in the home with Jennifer and Maddie as he moved out in December of 2023. However, he has come to visit 2 or 3 times since then. When Stephan visits the home, he will sleep in the guest bedroom upstairs while Jennifer and Maddie sleep together downstairs, but obviously not all the time. The reason Stephan moved out of the house this time, we get the excuse, is because he was offered a job by his father. However, the job fell through and he's trying to move back. All these excuses as for why Stephan and Jennifer broke up and why Stephan moved out, you'll hear him say, yeah, I have to take care of my elderly parents, and you know, they're deaf people yelling at each other. Now it's because he was offered a job by his dad, but the job fell through. Maddie wouldn't say the real reason, to her friend why Stephan moved out. There's something about him moving out, and it happened in December, and I can't help but wonder, is it related to the abuse Maddie suffered? Did Jennifer know anything? Did they break up? Did she say, oh, this isn't right? Did Jennifer not know? What's behind him moving out? Typically, when Stephan visits, he will stay for a few days. However, this time he planned to stay for a week. Stephan either arrived on Saturday, February 24th, or the morning of Sunday, February 25th. However, Jennifer does not remember when. On the morning of February 26, 2024, Jennifer was woken up by Stephan taking their dog for a walk approximately 7 or 8 a.m. So that's a different, well, she didn't get out of bed, she claims till 9. Now she's claiming, okay, Stephan woke her up around 7 or 8 when he was going to walk the dog. Jennifer further explained she did not actually hear Maddie getting ready in the morning, specifically as there are also 2 roommates in the home. Jennifer fell back asleep shortly after being woken up. At approximately 9 a.m., Jennifer woke up again and Stephan had not yet returned home after taking Maddie to school. Jennifer left for an appointment at approximately 9:30. Stephan called Jennifer on the phone at approximately 10:18 a.m. to inform her he just returned home from completing some errands. Stephan informed Jennifer he originally planned to take Maddie to a nearby McDonald's for breakfast. However, Maddie did not wish to go, so he took her directly to school. Stephan also informed Jennifer he attempted to go to a smoke shop to get e-cigarette supplies immediately after dropping Maddie off. However, the shop was closed. Stephan then returned to the home at approximately 10 a.m. and spent some time there before going back out to the smoke shop. Jennifer returned to the home at approximately 11:15 a.m. At that time, Stephan had returned to the home. Afterward, Jennifer waited at home until 14:30 or 2:30 p.m., at which time she left to pick up Maddie at school. This point in the report speaks a bit about Maddie's relationship with her bio dad and how they don't see each other often, but they communicate sometimes by phone. It was sad. There were parts in there. It's got to be so heartbreaking for her dad, but there were parts when friends talked about, oh, Maddie didn't really talk with her bio dad that often. Well, there was one time where Jennifer was threatening Maddie when saying, I'm going to kick you out, or I'm going to go send you to live with your dad. I wish she would have. I mean, she would have had a much better life. She would have likely been alive and unharmed. But there are friends that talk about, well, Maddie didn't really get along with her bio dad or didn't really know him or just talk to him occasionally. Apparently, there was another interview with Jennifer, February 27th, 2024 at 8:04 p.m., wherein Jennifer did not recognize a vehicle presented to her by cops, but she said the individual may have been Maddie because the person appeared to be wearing a light-colored top with darker-colored bottoms. I don't know what video this one is. Jennifer reaffirmed that Sterns was not home when she woke up at 9 a.m. on February 26, 2024. Jennifer called Sterns several times. Sterns returned her call at approximately 10 a.m. and told her he accidentally left his phone at home. Now, on February 28th, 2024 at 3:02 p.m., so Sterns still isn't arrested, en route from Town Place Suite at Flamingo Crossings to the OCSO Central Operations Building, an investigator captured a curious conversation with Jennifer. The investigator wrote, I offered Jennifer a courtesy ride from the hotel that she and Stephan were staying at. Oh, so they were staying together. So that tells us Jennifer and Stephan were staying at the hotel together. So she offered them a courtesy ride from the hotel to the OCSO Central Operations Building, and they went separately, Jennifer and Stephan. They try and divide and conquer, separate them so they can get these separate interviews, see whose stories don't line up. Jennifer accepted the offer, and I transported her in my agency-issued vehicle in the passenger seat. During the transport, Jennifer and I had a brief conversation. While speaking, I noted that Jennifer referred to Maddie using the past tense several times when she mentioned her. I inquired about whether or not it was normal to allow Maddie and Stephan to sleep in the same room, unsupervised. Jennifer replied, this was not common practice. However, she did not have any suspicion that anything inappropriate would occur between the two. Jennifer used to be very hypervigilant around Stephan. However, as the years have gone by, she has allowed Maddie and him to be alone because they get along very well. This conversation was audio recorded. Boy, wait till we hear that one. The interview of Maddie's grandmom, I'm assuming that happened on February 27th, 2024. It's redacted, but it looks like it's her, revealed that she does not like Stephan. The detectives have written all about these inconsistencies between the timelines provided by Stephan and Jennifer. Also, many school officials spoke about Maddie's grade suffering, how she had trouble regulating her emotions. It's no wonder with all that hell that Stephan put Maddie through. And I must say, Jennifer, who didn't take precautions to protect her. I don't want to be too harsh on Jennifer. I know there are women, men out there who did not truly know that their spouse, their significant other, was harming their child in this way. But with Jennifer, I almost kind of feel something else going on here, especially the consistent theme about Maddie and Jennifer not getting along. I feel like, part of me feels like, and you know how this can happen, Jennifer had Maddie with, of course, Tyler, who is Maddie's biological father, biological dad. They never married, and then Tyler went on to marry Tatiana, and, they look like a great couple. Was Jennifer so enraged with hatred about, this not working out? You know how some women are like, you remind me just like your father, and they take out their ire and their anger on the kid. Like, did Jennifer really love her daughter, and did it just go awry? This horrible man Sterns coming into their lives and just making everything horrible and worse. And how could she be so hyper vigilant around Stephan previously? I mean, she knows at least how freaky he was, I guess. But then I guess maybe it's possible I try and leave all options open. In her naivete, she might have thought, he really is like a super dad to Maddie, and yeah, sure, my sleep is most important, so Maddie, you go on off with Stephan and you guys sleep in a different room. And did she really think they were just sleeping and Stephan wasn't harming her daughter? Like, who would even, make that a thing? To me, that would be just even weird, even if he was her bio dad. Like, yeah, you guys go off, sleep in the other room, let alone just like some boyfriend. It's just too much weirdness there. And this whole theme, this whole thread of Maddie and Jennifer not getting along, it makes me wonder if Jennifer just didn't care. Like, she wasn't freaking out. It seems like she was really caring about Stephan's story and propping him up and comforting him. And it'll be interesting to see that whole timeline, like when that interview was done and when we see all these videos of their interrogations and what Jennifer really knew and when she realized it, or was it a big cover story? Will she ever be arrested and charged with anything? If anything, child endangerment or something. Malachi 2:7. For the lips of the priest should guard and preserve knowledge of my law, and the people should seek instruction from his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. So yeah, too bad Sterns wasn't like a great dad or great father figure or some guy who came into their lives. I mean, who knows how long he had designs on Maddie. Did he like Jennifer at all? Or how soon did he meet Maddie? Did she introduce them right away? And did he look at Jennifer and go, whatever, but look at the cute daughter you have. Was it that from the beginning? Possibly. And did Jennifer look past all these things? Was she truly naive, or did she just put up with it? And did she not have the proper love for her own daughter, the proper protection? I just don't like this talk of, I'm kicking you out, I'm disowning you when you're 18 or 19. And of course, Maddie had to be confused and angry and mad at her mom. She was probably mad at her mom for bringing this man into their lives, for not protecting her, even though he was acting like, the best friend, and you come to me when your mom gets on your nerves, and, just trying to be that whole horrible, scheming, demonic entity in their lives. And just the suffering, the anxiety, if you read through all the things Maddie went through at school and how she didn't even want to change out of her clothes into her gym clothes, or even just what she went through telling the counselor, and with her grades slipping, and, just keeping her head down and her emotions. And it was so much she just suffered and kept within. And if only I was thinking now, she could see just, wow, like, they got this man, it's now a death penalty case, and her justice is coming. And the great part is she's in no pain now, no anxiety now, off with Jesus, a man who will never take advantage of her. Those are the broad strokes of this whole thing. Of course, there's a lot more. It's nearly 900 pages. Of course, I couldn't go through all of that, but if anything else comes out, or I can put it in additional videos, and we'll just go from there. Thank you for watching all of this. Take care.